We welcome you back to Grace Hall in the campus of Lehigh University. This is Shel Siegel along with Larry Sheridan and Marv Walenzik, where for the 22nd consecutive season, WLVT TV, public television in the Lehigh Valley, happy to bring you Lehigh University Wrestling. And again, our pleasure to welcome viewing fans throughout the fine state of Iowa, watching on the Iowa Public Broadcasting Network. We hope wherever you are in Iowa that you're enjoying this telecast. Your team well out in front, 23-0, as we prepare to wrestle now at 167. Adam Smith, a junior for Lehigh, with a 2-8-1 record from Andover, Mass. And his opponent will be Bob Thompson, a senior from Ames, Iowa, 22-6.
Shell, you were measuring the fact that who's got who on takedowns. Right now, an unofficial count is 31 takedowns for Iowa State, 1 for Lehigh. That being Chris O'Byrne. So Adam Smith working to get his first dual meet victory.
Turn, guys.
Has won 2 in tournaments early on season. Hasn't got a dual meet victory so far. And of course at 190 we're coming up with Eric Hagberg, and he's 0-8.
Well, I think you have to understand a little bit about Adam Smith. You have to understand that sometimes in wrestling, records and results and all the other things on which we do all the ratings and rankings and on which wins and losses are made don't measure the heart of somebody who comes out and stays with this sport as Smith has done for Lehigh. Last year he filled in everywhere they needed him. He took on every tough assignment, and there's a sense of heroism about Smith that you have to admire.
Well, you almost have that situation here with Bobby Thompson. Last year he was a fill-in, and he wrestled 58, 67, 77, and 90. So he's finally got a niche in the lineup, and won last year over Solomon Fleckman 5-4.
Good job by Adam Smith on a turn through, and if he'd have put that arm around his waist, Larry, he had it. Adam Smith with a good hand from his teammates and coaches.
Jim Gibbons in there rooting on the Ames, Iowa grappler, a senior. Bobby Thompson, an old baseball fan like you, Shell. There's a name that's very familiar.
Shell will never, you don't throw the question at him. He'll hit that question out of the park. He knows it all.
He does, and he knows that Bobby Thompson spelled his name differently.
Good for you.
Enough for you, Larry.
But you gotta allow us to stay on the mat too. You're just driving them right.
Marv, the
1:29 to go, first period.
Larry, I'd like to announce, it's not going to help the people in Iowa, but it sure is here, that Shel Siegel, who went to the Red Sox camp, the old Dream Team camp, and that will be on public television on Channel 39 on Monday night. Look for that, because it was Siegel behind the bat, Chapter 1.
Yes, it'll be on first Monday night at 7:30, and it's amazing they managed to get a whole week of excruciating pain into 7 minutes.
104 left in the first period, right? There's no bullet above the 1, so I got to assume this is the first period.
You're right. You've got it, Larry.
Notice they ran out of yellow lights and substituted red in the 0. Huh. Of course, they put it on the wrong side. You'll never see that one illuminated.
Larry, the worst part of this whole thing is that against Iowa, where Iowa State won, was at 77-90 in heavyweight.
Well, they've got a pretty good punch there with Johnson, Troop, and
Kinney, and
if
also
they have Kinney out there.
No, it's Kinney tonight. It's sometimes he's Jamie Cutler, who's won a couple, but tonight it's
Johnson's
Kinney.
sitting there with 23 and 4, so he's going against the freshman Fitz.
Matt Ruppel, Lehigh's national champion, on the screen, not wrestling this season. He was ranked #1 in the country out of the chute at 190 again this season, but an ankle injury in the Las Vegas Invitational has set him down for the remainder of the season, and it's not known yet whether or not he will be back next year or not.
2-0 on the board with 20 seconds left.
Mark Piven with a good blocking move.
Again, as we mentioned, Iowa State holds a record of 21-2-1 against Lehigh. The last time Lehigh won back in 1967 by a score of 16-13 right here at Grace Hall.
Now he's got that arm out to the side, and he may try to pull it out, or will he try to hammerlock it? He may try to take it out with the wrist, and what do they call that now after Gene Mills? Mills it. May try to Mills it. Bring that arm out to the side, wide, and then drive up under it.
Be interesting, Larry. I know since we've been doing wrestling for 22 seasons, if your memory can take you back to 1967 and knowing who the wrestling team was that wrestled Iowa State, who were the winning Lehigh wrestlers back then, whether or not, of course, if you guess any, we probably wouldn't know whether you're right or wrong.
I remember one of the events where Lehigh won against Iowa State. Their national champion was upset by a mediocre wrestler from Lehigh. And I'm not saying mediocre because his star didn't rise that often. But I think there was a wrestler by the name of Hayes for Iowa State, and he came out here as a national champion. He got beat, and as a result, the rest of the boys were inspired, and I think Lehigh pulled it out toward the end. But
Sandy Snyder thinks that Mike Caruso was one, and Joe Paratori might have been another.
Could well be, and Billy Stewart and all that crew if they were still there at that time. 1:30 left, second period.
I don't ever remember seeing Stewart wrestle, Larry. I'm not sure he was there in '67.
Well, he wrestled. Lehigh's great trio in the Nationals one year. Caruso, Paratori, and Stewart were all three finalists.
Was Stewart a transfer?
Well, originally out of Brown.
Yeah.
Yes. He won the Nationals for Lehigh the one year that Lehigh had three wrestlers in the finals. Three weights in a row.
5-0 lead as Bob Thompson. Thompson is the only senior in the starting Iowa State lineup as we look at the replay.
1 minute.
So one wrestling job at 67 at least will open up next year for some Cyclone wrestlers.
Marv, I spent some of my hard-earned cash and wrote to the NCAA for a booklet on sports participation. And some of the information I can pull out of this thing I think is important for wrestling. I will ask you, just to give you a guess, how many schools, member schools of the NCAA have wrestling in Lehigh? Now these are in the United States, these are 1989 figures calculated on an 88 results.
112.
You're not even halfway. 287 schools have wrestling.
Oh, counting all divisions?
Oh, yeah, all.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant just one.
And that equates to 6,800 wrestlers. So it is, as far as participation, it's ranked ahead of golf, but golf has the most number of schools. Basketball still the most popular. Surprisingly, then tennis, cross country, baseball, golf, track and field, soccer, football, swimming, and wrestling. Wrestling is the 10th as far as numbers of institutions having teams.
Period about to conclude, and it will be a 5-0 lead for Bob Thompson, senior from Ames, Iowa, at the 167, with the Cyclones leading Lehigh 23-0.
Yeah, my time. Bucket.
Marv looking for some.
I think Smith.
The bloody nose again.
Well, Jack Foley's got a towel over there he's going to give him, and you see the
While we have a moment, we would like to remind our viewers in the local area for Channel 39 that once again, for the 12th year, we'll bring you the State High School Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association Championship Finals. Both the AA and the AAA finals will be here on Channel 39 again in March. And we'll also give you the EIWA championships for the 18th season. They will take place here at Lehigh University, and we'll have that championship final night for you.
One thing you must remember is that we will be broadcasting on St. Patrick's Day.
I believe we will, and I will be wearing my tie. I have a tie.
That's all? Takedown attempt by the Iowa wrestler countered so far. They're near the edge of the match.
Smith has done a good job all night long. What's it, JB 7-2 and 8-2 with riding time. But Adam Smith has worked very, very hard here.
Practically in the Buddha's lap, as you can see in the bottom of your picture. Joseph Ryan, one of the great photographers in the photographic history, a member of the Photographic Hall of Fame.
When you talk about great wrestling states, I think on balance, and, you know, all of us here in Pennsylvania feel that with the number of national champions and the great teams, the ranked teams that we have. But if you look at Iowa and the number of wonderful high school wrestlers they have produced, I have always felt that there was something very, very special about Iowa wrestling. And if you get in a good Iowa kid, he never quits. He stays with you. They're tough as nails. I think it doesn't matter what class they come from. I know if you come out of Don Bosco and Gilbertsville as a 1A kid like Toma did, or you come out of the top, the higher level programs in enrollment, they are great wrestling kids.
Adam Smith wrestled at Avon Old Farms up there. Lives in Andover, Mass.
I think while you're talking about great states, Marvin, of course, as Larry pointed out, was it last year or the year before when not only were Pennsylvania wrestlers outstanding in the Nationals, but 3 District 11 right around the corner from here, high school.
That was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And
3 national champions.
Yep. And I think over time, if you look at the number of national champions from Pennsylvania and the number of ranked schools that we have had, there is no question that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, with its entire university system, public and private, is high level.
Another takedown, making it 9-2 with 52 seconds left. Bobby Thompson, well out ahead of Lehigh's Adam Smith. Third period has almost a guaranteed point for time advantage, so let's call it 10-2 at this time.
Larry, we're going to give you, since you were the one that proposed to the governor of Pennsylvania that they name a special day for that, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to quickly tell me who those 3 wrestlers were.
Well, you had Pat Santoro, who wrestled at Bethlehem Catholic High and Fort Pitt. And then we had a wrestler who went to Freedom High School for NC State, whose name was Turner. And Scott Turner. And the third wrestler.
30 seconds.
And I think we have him, Marvin. I can't believe it. And he's going to come get you. Well, I don't know. It's a name that you could forget.
Jack Kuvo.
Yes.
From Easton. All three from Northampton County, Pennsylvania. And that was only topped one or matched one other time, and it was out of Iowa. There was 3 wrestlers from the same county of Iowa one year won the Nationals. So we have the distinction because Lehigh University is in Northampton County. So 3 kids won the Nationals that year from Northampton County.
11-7 lead here, and riding time would give him a major, too, with just 12 seconds to go, as Bob Thompson on the verge of continuing the shutout hex against Lehigh. And that statistic of just 1 takedown is absolutely amazing.
It's about 1-35 now.
Unofficially 35 takedowns for Iowa State and 1 for Lehigh thus far. As the period ends, a major decision, 14 points coming up on the board for the Cyclones, and it is now 27-0.
And we're moving into some of the real strength of the Iowa State lineup.
Well, that gives us something to look forward to, Marvin. At 177, Matt Johnson, a sophomore from